From the writings of the Gomonchu Koshin Utani. When we are filled with our own worries, the voices of others can barely enter into our ears. This is because we are too preoccupied to listen. At such times, stop right there, close your eyes, and open the ears of your heart. If you can sharpen the ears of the heart, things you ordinarily could not hear can be heard, and you can now pay attention to the person who has something to ask of you. The voice of the Buddha is the same as this. In order to hear the voice of the Buddha calling you, it is important you strain the ears of the heart to catch the sounds that you usually do not hear. By doing so, you are able to hear the wish that the Buddha places on you, and the world opens up. This experience is what Jodo Shinshu calls listening with the ears of the heart. Namo Amida Butsu. Namamos. Good evening and welcome to our annual Joya-e Metta service. Yes, it looks a little different this year, as almost everything we've experienced in 2020 has looked different. But even though we're not physically gathering at the Buddhist Church of San Francisco this year, we can still come together in a spirit of oneness and once again, close out the year in reflection and contemplation. I've heard some Buddhists say that 2020 was samsara on steroids, and it's true. It's almost impossible to imagine just 1 year ago exactly how 2020 would ultimately end up being. That there would be so many challenges requiring continuous perseverance, that so many would have had to struggle, so many would have to deal with unimaginable suffering. We've experienced separation from our families and our friends, and anxiety and depression as COVID-19 pushes us further into smaller and smaller bubbles of perceived safety. I think 2020 will be remembered as the year of the pandemic and all of the socioeconomic and emotional hardships it brought with it. But for this evening's service, I'd like to introduce a different perspective on 2020. The Buddhist Church of San Francisco belongs to the Jodo Shinshu school of Mahayana Buddhism. It's one of 10 branches of what's translated into English as the True Pure Land sect, which originated in Japan in the 12th century. Although I was ordained at our mother temple in Kyoto, Japan, I don't speak Japanese. And I don't think that that's necessary in order to understand and appreciate the profound teachings of our founder, Shinran. However, I do feel fortunate to have come across over the years some amazing Japanese expressions. And I'd like to share what I think is the most beautiful of all Japanese phrases, Okage Samade. Okage Samade means thanks to you, I am. It literally means because of the shadow or as a result of the shadow. O is on an honorific prefix, and kage means shadow or dark part, that which we are not able to see or maybe not always notice. Sama is an honorific suffix referring to a person we admire or respect. De is because of. So Okage-sama De encompasses and acknowledges the invisible world that embraces each of us, the world made up of the actions and countless individuals that support our lives and make us who we are today. So as I look back on this samsara on steroids kind of a year, I also have to acknowledge another perspective of 2020, Okage-sama De. It is because of others' support, seen and unseen, that I am here as I am. Okage-sama De, because of the heroic efforts of our frontline medical workers, people I love have been compassionately cared for. Okage-sama De, because of the efforts of our essential workers, I am able to eat food, buy groceries, put gas in my car, and so many other mundane activities that I I truly overlook or took for granted before COVID-19. Okage sama de. Because of the generous efforts of so many teachers, I am able to hear the teachings of the Buddha Dharma. Okage sama de. Because of the kind and patient guidance of my Shin teachers and Sangha friends, I'm able to rejoice in the Nembutsu. The shadow is the invisible world that embraces us and supports us and sustains us. It is because of the hundreds and thousands of known and unknown actions that allow me to exist, even when I'm too busy or too distracted or too self-absorbed to see and acknowledge. To understand Okage sama de, it requires that I stop thinking about me, stop thinking about mine, what I need, what I want. To understand Okage sama de, I must listen with the ears of the heart. As we close out the unprecedented year that was 2020, let us once again listen to the wise words of Reverend Otani. When we are filled with our own worries, the voices of others can barely enter into our ears. This is because we are too preoccupied to listen. At such times, stop right there, close your eyes, and open the ears of your heart. When you can sharpen the ears of the heart, things you ordinarily would not hear can be heard. And you can now pay attention to the person who has something to ask of you. The voice of the Buddha is the same as this. In order to hear the voice of the Buddha calling you, it is important you strain the ears of the heart to catch the sounds that you usually do not hear. By doing so, you are able to hear the wish that the Buddha places on you, and the world opens up. This experience is what Jodo Shinshu calls listening with the ears of the heart. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. So this evening's metta, loving kindness meditation, is an ancient aspiration of open-heartedness and open-mindedness. It invites us to be grounded in this precious and unrepeatable moment, directing loving kindness first to ourselves and then outward to others. We'll begin by sitting comfortably, hands resting relaxed in our lap. Back straight to alleviate any additional stress on the shoulders or the neck. Lower or close your eyes to weed out any visual distractions. And let's take several deep breaths to really connect with our bodies, following the breath in and following the breath out.